and it is 2 days ago on April 21st, 2024, that I was officially and technically 7 months on testosterone. We'll get into why I say technically in a bit, but first we're going to start off with the monthly reading for the first year. So, start off by reading the poem I wrote, Shifting Tides, a while ago now, and we'll just get right into it. An inlet of rock and sand by the sea, it is I that you see. For many years the waves lapped against me. I shifted to greet them from time to time, but in others I was shy, hiding my coast. They were an expected presence, a constant in my youth. Slowly, though, I grew tentative of them. I asked the tide, why scrape at me? She answered, nothing has changed. Surely something did, for now I feel pain. The waves grew taller all the same. In high tide I reshaped my front, while in low I was left to deliberate. Were allies brought to my tidal gates? Investigating a smooth shell one day, I thought he looked rather plain, but then a friendly claw turned him over, revealing rainbow swirls and tear-streaked truth. I was too quick to blame the tide, too naive to behold the moon. The cove is always changing shape, forming a haven in each wake. An inlet of rock and sand by the sea, it is I that you see. I'm kind of whispering-ish today because my roommate is sleeping, so I'm sorry if this sounds kind of mumbly, but I'm trying not to wake them up. So yeah, it's been another month. It's not much has changed in terms of like actual like physical changes, but I have a few like updates and like lore things that come along with doing testosterone. The very first thing is that I technically was off testosterone for a week because my prescription was late. I called to have it filled, and it took them a week to get to it, and both of the doctors I've talked to actually didn't end up being the ones doing it. It was the third doctor here. So, I don't know what's going on, but this is the first time I ran into like prescription troubles, and I know it's a very common thing with all my friends that have prescriptions, so I wasn't that surprised. It didn't really affect me at all. I just wasn't taking testosterone every night. I don't think it really changed anything. It takes a long time, from what I understand, for any like hormone level from testosterone to go down. And like even if it did, I just started taking it again. I personally don't feel impacted. I know some people talk about feeling impacted. That's their discretion, but I didn't feel anything was really different. I just started taking it again, which has been chill so far. I have to figure out how I'm going to supply it over the summer when I'm not here. So this will be my first time figuring out how to move a prescription to a different state and stuff like that. So that's stuff I have to figure out real soon. And when I figure it out, I'll probably do an update. Just like a side note, when I finally change my name on my birth certificate is when I will do my name change video. I was going to do it earlier, but I decided that I should probably finish all my name changes before I do a name change video, just so I could have it all under one video. Or if people would prefer that I separate them out, like per document, I can do that as well. But some of those will be really short, like driver's license would be really short because all I have to do is just go in and be like, change it please. Same as social security card. All I did was go in and say, change it please. But yeah, I can do a video about the name change at some point soon, hopefully. My passport should be here soon. So yeah, that's kind of that segues into one of the things I've been going through. I've been doing a lot of legal paperwork recently, and I'm definitely getting like different responses from different people when it comes to legal paperwork. Like some people treat me masculine, some people treat me feminine. I feel like, I realize that's not an actual sentence, but I hope you understand what I mean. I'm definitely in a weird spot right now where I'm definitely getting both consistently. Like, before I thought I was passing, but I think I'm kind of half and half. Sometimes I'm passing, sometimes I'm not. My lab group, for example, I did not pass. All of them gendered me wrong. And I think honestly, my best guess, it doesn't matter, but my best guess is that it's a behavioral thing. Um, I guess they think how I speak, how I behave, like what I do is feminine, and so then they gender maybe she, her. There is the possibility is the key word here, but there is the possibility that they see the trans flag on my laptop and they think it's the other way, because I am kind of in the middle right now, which is also technically possible, but I kind of doubt it, because if I were the other way, I wouldn't keep all this fuzz on my face, which I have a lot of fuzz right now. It's hard to tell, but I got a lot of fuzz going on. So, I'm not sure, but I've definitely been misgendered in school, and then when it comes to the bathroom, I've started really getting anxious because I definitely feel like I don't fit in either of the spaces. For the first time, I got like a look from someone in the bathroom, and I did not vibe with that. I was not happy about it. I did not like it. So recently, either bathroom, going to the women's bathroom, I've been getting anxious about women there being like, you don't belong here. Which that's the one I would prefer, honestly. Like, I know some trans men really like using men's bathrooms, some trans men don't want to use men's bathroom. I'm kind of in the latter category. If I had to choose one of the gendered bathrooms, I would choose the women's bathroom. It's the one I'm comfortable with. I just go in and out. Like, it's a bathroom. I don't need a urinal. So that's my take, but I also don't like getting looks. I feel like a lot of the time I get the benefit of the doubt, but since I got this one time where it wasn't, I'm starting to think about it a lot more. I get really anxious in the men's bathroom, like really anxious. I don't know why. I just like, I can't do my thing. I get there and I just can't do it. So I've been trying to use the gender neutral bathrooms like on campus, but my work doesn't have gender neutral bathrooms for the summer, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Usually the bathrooms at work are pretty empty anyway, so I'm not that worried. But as I keep transitioning, this is gonna be more and more of an issue, like a more and more pertinent topic. So I'm trying to figure out like what to do, and this is why I wish gender neutral bathrooms were normalized, because then this wouldn't be such a dilemma. Because on the one hand, I'm getting judged, and on the other hand, I literally can't go. So not quite sure what to think or do in that case, but that's been something I've been going through recently. But yeah, I'm pretty much, in general, I've been going back and forth. Some people, I've been called sir, like if people like just glance at me, which I still don't think I look like a sir, but whatever. But like I've been called sir by like employees and stuff, and I've gone through like pictures of myself and I've been like, oh, that's scary. So like in those ways, like I definitely like see the masculinity and stuff. And then in other ways, people just gender me as feminine. And I've heard from many trans men who have had like full beards and top surgery and everything that they still get misgendered as women. So I know it's definitely like a common thing. I just wish I knew, what is the giveaway? Like, what is the giveaway? Because if someone has like a full ass beard, a deep voice, and a flat chest, I wouldn't bat an eye. In fact, I accidentally sat next to someone in my atmospheric science class who was trans, and I did not know. Like another trans man. Like I sat as a trans man, sat next to another trans man, had no clue he was a trans man until he just casually mentioned top surgery one day, and I was like, wait, you had top surgery? So I find that kind of funny. Like I give people the benefit of the doubt, just subconsciously. So I find it interesting, honestly. I find it interesting that some people are able to somehow notice the difference. Because there's definitely cases where actual cis men or actual cis women look less like men or women than some trans people. So it just shocks me that some people have some magic power to distinguish it. In some cases, definitely not all cases, but some. So, yeah, that's a lot of something I've been going through. I just mentioned something that is related, something I want to bring up. My insurance has changed. It didn't technically change, but it did change. So I'm dealing with money with testosterone now. Technically, in the grand scheme of things, it's still not that expensive. A lot of people pay a lot more for testosterone than I do. But $100 a month is still not. It's more than that, but around $100 a month is still not an amount I would like to pay monthly. So I'm kind of figuring that out currently. I've kind of been looking at packing again, maybe. I haven't really done packing since my freshman year when I first came out as trans. It's not that I don't benefit from it, because I definitely do. Like, some days when I'm getting bottom dysphoria, it does help to pack. I just use socks, I don't have an actual packer. But it's not necessarily comfortable for me. Like, the socks move around, and a lot of the packers that are out there, like, to buy, I don't like a lot of them. Like, I think I might just get a foam cup, because I don't like the options. I might try Mr. Limpy. It seems like the best option for me. But when I think about like the packer I want, and then I look at the packers available, I don't see the packer I would like. I kind of want like a small, like lays on itself thing. But I feel like all the options are either pretty large, which like some of them are huge. Like it just looks like you have an erection, and then what's the point? They're pretty large, or they're like 90 degrees, and I don't think that 90 degrees want to be comfortable to have in your pants. So that's just a lot of what I notice when I'm looking at packers. So I've been kind of looking into that, but kind of avoiding it. I kind of need to figure out binders again, because my binders don't fit anymore, and they're not really binding as well, and it's starting to bother me. So I've been looking at other English. I've been looking at other binding companies. My roommate just bought binders from another company, and they seem nice. I'm not that interested in them, but I might try them out. So it's possible that if I try out different kinds of binders, I could do a video on the binders I personally like. The biggest thing to note, though, when it comes to binders is that they are different for everyone. They're made for different shapes and sizes, and the thing is all of them are kind of unisex. Like they're made with a general shape in mind, a general one size fits all, whether or not they have small, medium, large. Like, the whole idea is they're trying to categorize people by size, and the reality, especially when it comes to chests of AFAB people, is they all come different ways and different shapes and different arrangements. Like, sometimes it's higher on people, sometimes it's lower on people, sometimes it's more to the side, more inward. It's hard to normalize that in binders. And bras, obviously the bra industry is shit, honestly, frankly. So binders are going to depend on everyone, just because that's just how chests are. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at binders. It's starting to be summer out, which means it's getting hot as hell, and I'm getting the binder sweat already, and that is also kind of stressful. I'm not a fan of summer. A lot of people get like seasonal depression with winter. Like, a lot of people get seasonal depression with winter, and they're like really happy now that like it's starting to be colorful out, which I do like the color. But I hate the heat. I hate the heat. I think it's because I partially grew up in Texas and California, but it's so hot out, and it's kind of stressing me out. So that's another thing I've been balancing recently. School obviously has been stressful as per usual. I've still been like up and down with my femininity at times in very particular cases, but that's just part of how I am. I think there's days where like I'm really happy, with some of my feminine features. There's days where I don't mind my body, or at least not the upper half of my body that much. Though my gut has grown, but I'm learning to not hate that. That's one of the goals I have for myself, is to not hate gaining weight, because it is just a more masculine feature. And my father has certain opinions on like body shaming men, and my goal is to not be that way. So that's my opinion. But I've been pretty okay with my body recently with testosterone. Just a little bit more hair growing some places. You can see the acne is definitely present on the face. To be fair, a lot of this is here because I'm worsening it. It's not the actual acne, but me pulling at the acne, which is bad, which I do a lot. I've been pulling these hairs a lot. Like, I keep yanking on them while I'm working, or like thinking. I keep just being like, it's kind of a bad habit. If it's really bad, I'll shave it, but it kind of does grow back pretty fast, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I shave these, it'll come back in like a day. This patch here will grow very fast. The rest of it will grow kind of slow, but like this patch comes insanely fast. I don't know why, but it won't be there in the morning, and then I'll just randomly notice it either that night or the next day. What I should do is shave it and like actually keep track of it, because I swear I shave it, and then next time I look in the mirror, it's there. I don't know if I'm delusional. That's something I'll probably keep track of for next month, but it's just been something that's there. But I don't really have much in the way of other changes. I'm not so sure about bottom growth. Sometimes I say that there's an update, and then the next month I'm like, I don't actually know if that has changed. I really don't know if the bottom growth has changed much recently, if at all. I'm starting to wonder. Okay, I'm trying not to get too deep into this, because I've not talked about it on this channel, and I don't really intend to talk about it on this channel yet, because it's a whole new genre of topics, and I'm not ready to go there. I've always had certain issues with my body. It contributes to my bottom dysphoria, is also stuff that has to do with my cis body. Like, even if you ignore all the trans things, there are issues that I have, just because my body doesn't work, or, you know, function as typically expected. Because of that, recently I've been kind of doing double takes towards how stuff is going on with bottom dysphoria, because I don't know if it's bottom dysphoria or just my body being weird, or both. It can definitely be both. So I'm unsure on the bottom growth situation, because I also think I just have weird anatomy. We're gonna figure it out. There may potentially be an update at some point regarding this. I could, like, theoretically talk about all of this, but I just don't think that this channel is at a spot that's ready to talk about how personal and like TMI those things are. So I don't think it'll come up, but there may be an update if I find out something about that. For now, though, we will proceed on the assumption that bottom growth is bottom growthing, in which case it's not changed in the last month. I think that's the summary. Anything else? Singing has been very nice. I do like singing. I've been able, there's some ways, I've definitely not mastered it, but there's been some times where I've been able to like use my voice like really well. I'm not a good singer, like in terms of like how you actually sing, but sometimes I'll accidentally do it right, and it's very satisfying. The other day my roommate was joking about me wearing a hat backwards, like a stereotypical frat boy hat, a baseball cap, and I like went to do like the frat boy impression to them as a joke, and they were like, oh, they were like terrified by it, which is really funny for both of us. Because I was able to kind of do it, and I was kind of scared. I still get voice cracks. I mostly get voice cracks on like exclamations or whenever I say like no in some way, like no or like oops or something like that. It'll usually crack. And sometimes if I'm like trying to like add an inflection on a word, it'll crack on the inflection. But it's mostly when I do those like voice raises that it cracks. Nothing's really changed here. This is one of the things that I wasn't excited about, was growing one of these Adam's apples. I haven't had that yet. And I'm kind of glad too, because my throat already struggles with throat stuff without adding that to it. Trying to think of what else, if anything else, is that pertinent. I don't think so. I can't think of much else. Some of the body hair is coming and going, so like not only is it like growing patchy in some places, but sometimes it will go away too. It's not always like one directional. So that's just like something I've noticed. I've kind of contemplated like shaving my legs like one last time or something, just because the leg hair is like really long, and it feels silly to cut it with actual scissors. I've been playing with that idea, but I kind of don't want to, because it does get really itchy for me when I shave, and I don't want to itch my legs and like scratch at them. It's just something I'm thinking about. If I'm like really bored one day, I might just go through with scissors and shorten everything. But it still feels silly. Anything else? I need to learn how to do shaving habits. That's something that I'm going to study when this school semester is over, which it will be in a few weeks, very soon, like scarily soon. We have we have 2 weeks left, exactly 2 weeks. I do not like that. Oh. Okay, well, now I'm traumatized. So there's 2 weeks left of school, and then I'll do some studying. I keep having the hiccups or burps. Sorry. Anything else? I don't think so. So just to like close out the video again, I kind of grouped everything together today, didn't I? Kind of combined like trans updates with like physical updates. To close the video out, school ends in 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks, I will be moving for the first time, and I'll be moving a second time the week after, or the week after that. So there will be like a lot of moving coming up. I know I said I was going to do a book video. I recorded a few takes of it, and then I decided to move it to a bit later, because I just want to make sure I say the right thing. I don't want the video to seem like weird or random. I think it's because the video is so different from the rest of the content on this channel that I've kind of gone back on doing it. So I'm kind of analyzing that currently. But as I said, I have a few ideas. I still need to do the name change and binders and other things. But I want to do not trans things too. Part of me is tempted to rant on my point of view of romantic and sexual attraction, because I could rant about that probably all day. But the biggest thing about those videos is they are my perspective of the world, and I don't know how useful my perspective is for other people. Like, I'm sure if you include like the population of the world, it probably benefits some people, but the question is, would those people that would benefit find it? That's what I'm unsure of. But one of my most famous video is the asexuality video. Maybe not, actually. I think one of the trans videos surpassed it. But for the most part, my most popular videos are the asexuality videos. So, I mean, I'm always down to rant about asexuality. I really can. So, maybe. I just want to include more of those things. I've also started to notice the first Pride Month ads arriving, even though it's April, which honestly I kind of like that they're not doing it solely in June. It's a good sign. Um, but I think we should probably like do something for Pride Month. Maybe like a live stream or something chill. But yeah, I think that's most of what I have to say here. I hope y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all in another month for month 8. Oh, month 8 will be 3/4 through the year. Oh, actually, one more thing. I did get my 6-month blood test results back, and everything's looking good. That's probably something I should say. All my biological things are looking good. And I have started working out. I did kind of jack up my back during the workout, but I have started working out, and it's kind of nice to be fit. So like generally I'm doing better. There's like one other thing. I hate to like conclude a video and then add more on, but one other thing though is that this position, I always used to be able to sit like this, like comfortably, but this isn't comfortable anymore, like with the thighs on the calves, like this, like duck walking. This is not comfortable. It's because like the thighs are like cutting into the calves, and it kind of hurts. And I've always wondered, like, why don't men like sit like that more? It's because it's painful for a lot of them. Um, that's why a lot of people do like the wide stance. So I brought this up at like a party um, last week, and like a birthday party, and we were all talking about that. Like a lot of the AFAB people were like why not sit like that? And then they were explaining it, and I was like doing what they were doing. I was like, this kind of makes sense. So it's very interesting that I noticed that. And I have also noticed the bigger muscle mass. It's definitely noticeable that the muscles are bigger, and they will like flex bigger as well. So yeah, those are actually some physical updates that I forgot to think about because I don't think about those kinds of things that much, honestly. Okay, now we're done. I hope you all have a good one, and I'll see you all in month 8. Bye-bye.